So Bradley Mayor Mike Watson joins us this morning for his monthly visit. Good morning, Mike. How you doing today?
I'm good. Howdy, sir.
All right. Good to have you on the program. And what's going on in the village of Bradley? Quite a bit, right?
The weather's cold.
Yeah.
Just like everywhere else in this county. But no, it's, things are just chugging along.
Yeah.
We're taking meetings as they come on all the various issues that are before the board. And, as time goes on, we'll have lots of things to speak on too. But
Sure. Real quick, does the village have how like Bourbonnais and Kankakee has like a snow ordinance that like if you get so much snow, then vehicles need to be moved?
Absolutely, it's 3 inches.
Yeah.
And how hard we enforce that just depends on the conditions at hand. Sometimes you'll get into a neighborhood where there's nobody on the street and you can get there easily.
Yeah.
Others, the old parts of Bradley, street parking, not always off-street parking, and so it makes it a little more challenging. But our guys do a good job. I mean, there's complainers out there, but overall they do an excellent job. So I'm very proud of our Public Works Department.
Yeah. How are you guys doing on road salt so far?
We've got plenty.
Okay.
I think I don't think we're hurting yet. I go by that salt bin a couple times a week, so I'm always looking at it just to see how the levels are. I knew we got our order in probably about a week ago. I'm not sure as to where our draw is on the amount of salt that we've taken so far this year, but it's probably going to be up a little bit, I'm sure.
Sure.
We always carry the year over with a surplus, so we start off with several 100-ton to begin with from the previous year.
Well, that's good. Yeah, and the recent weathers haven't been too bad, so
salting don't always work in this extreme cold.
Right.
You got to get it at that right temperature.
Right.
I'm not an expert on what the temperature is, but that's proper. But they tell me that in certain conditions it just doesn't melt.
Sure.
The snow.
All right. So, is there any new updates since we last spoke about Mattel and Water Park?
Yeah, sure. We've engaged with Martin Aquatics. They're the architect that's Mattel's chosen architecture firm. And so we've been working with them. We've seen a few renderings. They're going back to work at it a little bit more. But I think before long, we'll have something to reveal to the public and move on from there. But that's the key thing now. We got to get back up to speed. A little bit of a hiccup, so we had to take a step back once Mattel entered the picture, and since the theming's theirs, we are obligated to use the folks that they use in order to give them the proper brand recognition they'd like.
Okay, so has that pushed back the groundbreaking?
Probably a little bit. Who knows? Maybe 3 months. I don't know. I'm hopeful.
Okay.
So it should still happen in the summertime.
In the summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're shooting for.
Okay. All right. Is the footprint gotten a little bit bigger because of that, or?
I would say yes. So initial talks, we were kind of 60,000-ish. We're into the 70s. We might be pushing 90 when it's all said and done. Things are going to change on the ground, and obviously that's going to affect costs as well. But you know what? We want to have the premier Mattel park, really, because they're going to have like 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
And we want to be recognizably the best of them all if we can be. And, some of them are just being unveiled now, but there'll be a few that come online in the future, and they'll be competing against us probably for a little more notoriety. But
sure.
Right now we want to compete with the Dells area, and we want to draw people from that way south. So
okay.
We want to have a premier indoor water park, and I think that partnership with Mattel will give us that. Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with wanting the best, so
no,
that's good. So if has the timetable or the timeline changed at all with the completion of the project?
It should be close to being on schedule.
Okay,
and the reason that I give that is if we were to start this thing in early spring of 26, like initially, they were telling us that in all likelihood it would be completed in the fall of 27. So if we bump it back 3 months, and we were telling everybody Christmas of 27, give ourselves a little bit of leeway because you just don't never know what kind of hiccups you run across. We learned a lot through that construction process with the ball diamonds, and it's not a perfect plan every time. So you just kind of roll with it. You kind of got to crunch time sometimes to make on-the-cuff decisions and roll with it. And so we expect some of that with this. It's a little bit bigger project. But at any rate, if it pushes it back into early 28, I don't think we're going to be disappointed.
Okay.
In order to have the best, sometimes you got to take all that stuff into account.
Yeah, you got to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I know for a lot of people it's hard because we live in such a society now where you get stuff right away,
Yep.
Really fast.
Satisfaction
convenience.
now.
Yeah, right. And I know you mentioned this too about how this is more than you're looking at this more than just a water park, but almost like a campus with
Absolutely.
Mattel.
Yep.
Is there anything new you can talk about with that?
I will be meeting with some individuals that are involved in a water park. I think maybe some Mattel personnel will be there in Texas sometime in February to get a better understanding on how big of a footprint they really want. We've got people suddenly, go figure, knocking on a door for development on the mall's property. Everybody's kind of like jockeying for some positions there. And I've had to tell them to tap the brakes. I mean, we're happy to explore it immediately, but decisions aren't going to come that readily because at the end of the day, I think our board's preference would be to allow Mattel to determine what their future is here in Bradley, if it's an expanded one or not. And since we have the available land, we want to ultimately make the very best of all destination places for people to come. And if that requires an expanded Mattel presence, we want to accommodate that.
Okay, awesome. Bradley Mayor Mike Watson is with us this morning. So, Mike, what were the biggest accomplishments for the village last year?
Well, I'm glad you said plural accomplishments because I do have a few to mention. I think the biggest one of the biggest ones, the first one in the calendar year would have been the opening and completion of the sports complex, the 315 sports complex. That was a huge deal to get that finally completed, started filling it. So I think that's a big feather in our cap, I think, throughout the community. I think everybody is now coming to enjoy opportunities there that are being presented in this upcoming year. A second one, very important, and I hope this one individual's listening, is the hiring of Jim Byrne to be the facility operator. That guy is literally knocking it out of the park for the village of Bradley. We're elated to have him as part of our team. He's doing a terrific job. He's the one reaching out to all these schools, all these groups and individuals. He wants that thing to be fully occupied this upcoming year. I think he's going to get the job done, and that's a great benefit to the village of Bradley because when we got people in the stands, in the seats, they're out there spending money in our restaurant, in our concession stands, in our restaurants throughout the area. I mean, last year we had a few restaurants, Buffalo Wild Wings and Olive Garden, that on some of those weekends, they ran out of food. It's a great problem to have. And I think with Jim being in charge of the calendar, making sure he's our communicator, too, with all the parties so that everybody can kind of be on the same page. He's done a phenomenal job, and I can't say that enough. I tease all the individuals on my staff. I shouldn't say all a few individuals on my staff that wasn't in favor of Jim. And I was his biggest cheerleader. And, ultimately I get to be the decision maker anyways. But I wanted everybody on my team to be on the same page. So, basically we've demonstrated that their initial interface on that thing was wrong and that we were on the right page. And so he's done a great job, and I can't thank Jim enough. And I think a third one, obviously, is, the water park was in play, but the bringing on board of Mattel. And, Mattel, through their representatives, reached out to us. And so it isn't like magically we waved a wand and we got a meeting with Mattel. there was definitely an interest because this is a venue that they want to expand in. They're trying to do some adventure parks as well, other parts of the country. They wanted to be in this water park business, and we had a few things going for us that kind of pushed us into the running. Number one, we were in the Chicago market, which is huge for them. That's where they want to be. Number two was the structure itself, the open air facility that we are building, we've contracted with. That's what they want to be their kind of their logo, their image. They want it to be represented by that. And then the other one was the facility operator, ARM, American Resource Management. We already had them on board. They're on board as a consultant now, have been for a while on basically the shaping of the water park. Even before Mattel came on, they were part of our team. And because they were going to most likely be the operator, we wanted as much input from them. They have history down in Texas, and so they know what works and what doesn't work. And so we don't want just a mediocre facility. We want something that, number one, when people come to visit it, they're wowed by the whole thing. And so we wanted to benefit from their input on what things to have in a water park that's going to create memorable things for the folks that want to come back or the kids that want to come back. And then you couple that with the ball fields, and I think we're on the verge of really making a very big dynamic here of having a captive audience that comes in strongly in the summertime and capitalizing on their outside of the area dollars to be spent here in our restaurants, at our facilities, everything out throughout the county. So gas, whether it's gas, car washes, whatever. I mean, food. I think when you marry those dynamics together, I think you can really create something really phenomenal. And I think that we're on the verge of that.
All right. That's exciting.
It is very exciting. I'm happy.
Yeah. So what are the New Year's resolutions for the village this year?
For me, continue to strive, and this is a team-wide effort, to do our very best for the residents of the village of Bradley. That's our main priority, to make decisions that will ultimately benefit our community in the long term. As you know, we have property tax rebates. In order to do all that stuff deep into the future, you got to have the revenue stream, so that's what we want to create. By having a sales tax, hotel tax, entertainment tax, those primarily, not exclusively, but primarily fall on people who don't live in this community. And so when we can attract those dollars, which they should be paying for all the time anyways, because they require medical services and fire services, accidents happen, all that kind of stuff. And so that burden shouldn't fall on just our residents that live here or those out of town individuals. So this is a way for them to participate. It's also a great way for us to give back to our residents. And so I think that'll be the path, is to continue to work in that direction for all our residents.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. We've got just a couple minutes left. Mm-hmm. Anything else you'd like to add this morning, Mike? Oh, I do have one more question.
Sure.
And you don't have to go long on this if you got other stuff you need to get to. But any updates about 315 Festival?
I don't have anything to give you today. I do know they're actively working to fill. We have no contracts out there yet. We've got a few bites on some things. Seeing just how that all comes together, we'll understand it probably a whole lot more by the end of February.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Anything else? Well, I don't know. I mean, we hope it starts warming up here in the village of Bradley. We're anxious to get to work, roll up our sleeves again, and this weather here just really doesn't get you in the mood for it, and it kind of slows things down. But that's basically it. Everything's kind of chugging along. I do want to say thank you to Anita Lovell. She's our newly sworn-in village clerk. I want to thank her for stepping up to the plate on behalf of the citizens of Bradley. I think she's going to do an awesome job, and so thank her for taking on that role. It's a big job.
Yeah, definitely. And I should, real quick, congrats on being Male Citizen of the Year. Is that correct, from the Daily Journal?
Oh, God. Yeah, thank you. I got to say that's a very... Well, first of all, I thought Lee Provost was joking when he called me and tell me this. I thought this was like a prolonged joke or something.
Yeah.
And
an early April Fool's joke.
yeah, I mean, because it's not something that ever crossed my mind. But it's very humbling to be recognized in that way, shape, or form. And, you know, I accept it on behalf of my entire board of trustees, my staff. Everybody does a phenomenal job. It's not a one-man show up there. It's a team effort. And in Bradley, we have that. Everything is clicking on all cylinders right now. And so, yeah, I mean, besides being a little embarrassed by it, it does make you smile. It makes you feel like you've accomplished something, even though it's a 1-year recognition, and it's not going to deter us from even doing greater things. So maybe it makes us work a little harder.
Maybe.
I think. Yeah.
Well, congrats again on that.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. And thanks for joining us this morning.
Not a problem. Happy to do it.
Yeah.
We like getting our news out there in front of people.
That's good. So we'll talk to you in about, 3 weeks, I think?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Awesome.
Short time from last time because I missed out my last meeting. So.
Right. No, it was, you had a good reason. So,
okay.
Yeah. Bradley Mayor Mike Watson, thanks for joining us.
All right, sir. Thank you.